guys, welcome back to my channel. I have another get ready with me video today, and it is using almost all drugstore products, from eyebrows to mascara to new eyeshadow palettes. So if you want to see how I achieved this look and see some new products and old favorites from the drugstore in action, then just keep on watching. Alright, so let's get started with some eye primer. This is the NYX Proof It, and I have almost used this entirely up. I had to pull out the little rubber thing at the top to get the last remaining amount in this tube. This is, I think, one of the best ones at the drugstore. Milani makes a great one too. And now while that eye primer is setting in, let's get some makeup on this face. So I'm going to be using a combination of one of my favorite drugstore foundations. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. You do have to shake it. And I am in between shades because I have a little bit of self-tanner going on today. So I'm going to start with the dark color, and this is golden beige. And then I'm going to add in just a little bit of my lighter shade, which is soft ivory. I know this is going to look a little crazy for a moment here. I don't love this spatula here, but hey, we can't have everything we want, right? Okay, and then I'm going to take my flat kabuki brush. This is by Sedona Lace. I love the one by Wet n Wild, but mine is really dirty right now, so I'm going to use this. And as you saw, I did not use any face primer. I don't think this foundation needs it. And it gives your skin a really nice, kind of natural finish, but it covers well and it lasts a really long time. Okay, now I'm going to let that sit on the rest of the skin except for right around my eyebrows. I'm going to try out a little powder there so I can do my eyebrows. This is the Milani Prep Set and Glow Illuminating Transparent Powder. Usually I'm not a fan of illuminating powders, but I've heard good things, so we're going to give it a try. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to lightly pat some of this right over the brow area. I'm not going to powder the rest of my face yet because I'm going to be using several cream products, so we'll wait till the end to do that. All right, now we're going to fill in our brows, and this is another new product, well, within the last month. Love this. This is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil. So I think it's so cool, this packaging with the pointed tip here on the end that tells you that's where the pencil is, which I love. No more pulling off both ends to figure out which one has the spoolie and which has the brush. So really nice spoolie on this end. And then on the other end, it is a rectangular shaped pencil, and it's soft, which normally I don't like, but it makes it really easy and quick to fill in your brows. So I have this in ash brown, which is my favorite color in the micro brow pencil as well. And I'm just using super light strokes because you can get a little too carried away with this one. And sometimes I go over it with some powder, but today I kind of like how they came out by themselves. So now I'm just going to go over the top of them with my NYX Control Freak Brow Gel, just to help set that pencil in place and my brows. I do feel like that pencil stays really well throughout the day. Alright, so now I'm going to try another new product, new to me. This is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter. Haven't used one of these in a long time, but I'm just going to highlight right under the brow. Kind of help look like I got a little lift there. And I like it. It's pretty creamy. It's a little more pink leaning, which I was a little worried about, but it seems to blend nicely. It's creamy, but it's not overly so. So there we go. Have a little brow lift. Okay, now for the fun part. Eyeshadow. So I picked up yesterday 2 new palettes from Milani. I've only tried one of these palettes before. They have about 5, I think, in their regular line, and then they just came out with this one, which is the these are called Everyday Eyes palettes, and this is matte. So all of these shadows are matte, and I love it because I like a little more warmth to my shadows. So this has just a little bit of warmth here, but it's got some cooler leaning ones there. And then, you know me, pinks, golds, copper shadows. Look at how beautiful that is. So the entire palette has some kind of shimmer in each shadow except for this one, which is black, matte black. So I'm not quite sure what look we're gonna do, but we're just gonna play. So I'm gonna start like I always do at the brow bone, and I'm gonna go in with the cream shade in this one. This is the matte palette, and I swatched these yesterday, and they are super soft, pigmented, and they are applying that way as well. There's not hardly any kick up in the pan, so even though they're soft, there doesn't appear to be a lot of fallout yet. If we use the black, that will be the test. Okay, now we're going to go in with my favorite Morphe 504, M504, and I think we're going to go in with a little bit of this and then just a hint of the warmth in the crease. Oh, nice. Very nice. And then I'm going to add just a hint of that warmer color. These are really nice. Seem to blend pretty well. And I'm not digging my brush around in there, just really patting the brush in, and it's picking up plenty of shadow. Okay, I'm going to go back with the lighter of the 2 crease shades and just blend that edge. Okay, so I was thinking I was going to do an all matte look today, but I have a basic shadow everyday look coming up. So, you know, we'll do something a little more fun today because, of course, I want to use some of the metallics. I think I'm going to go in with this more gold shadow. Now, this was the one of all of them that I was testing yesterday that seemed a little bit flaky, but then when you pressed it onto the skin, it blended well. Okay, so I'm going to go on first with just a little base to have that, help that shadow adhere. I'm going to use, this is the Color Tattoo, Maybelline Color Tattoo shadow in Caramel Cool. I don't know if they make this color anymore, but you could use Barely Branded or anything else that you have in your collection, or go without. I don't think you need a base other than your eyeshadow primer, but I'm just gonna give it a shot today. Okay, and now I'm gonna go over that with this beautiful kind of gold shadow. Okay, so definitely tap off your brush. Let's see what we're picking up here. All right, that applies nice. And actually, I do have a little bit of fallout right here, but I anticipated that based on my swatch party I had yesterday. Oh yeah, so it's kind of weird. It crumbles a little bit in the pan. So it is like a pressed pigment that you have to really press into the eye, and I may even use my finger to further help it along there. There we go. Okay. Woo. That's like one of those orangey gold colors. Okay, so now let's go in. We're going to go back to our matte palette, and I'm going to pick up some of this dark brown, and we're just going to see how this performs. Let's see. I think I'll try it first on a little bit of a fluffy. This is my Morphe M433. I'm going to just tap lightly. Yeah. A little bit of that, and just keep this just to the outer corner. I don't want to go too dark and heavy today. So the darker colors take a little more blending, but not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna go back in to, I'm gonna try a little bit of this and then this right above that dark brown. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay. Okay. So that blended pretty nicely. All right, now, because I am not one who usually gravitates towards these orangey gold colors, one trick that I like to do is to go over the top of it with kind of more of a pink leaning shadow. So I'm going to take this one, which is such a pretty color, and we're just gonna tap lightly into that, and I'm just going to gently pat that over. Oh, love that. Okay, so you can see it just toned it down enough, so it added just a hint of more of a rosy gold to it rather than the orangey gold. So that's my tip for you. If you have trouble pulling off kind of more of an orangey gold, you can immediately just take it down a little bit by putting a shimmery pink shadow over it, or a pearl color. Okay, I don't think I want to do too much more. We'll see. So for now, we're going to address liner. I'm going to line the outer edge of my upper lash line with my NYC Cityproof 24-hour liner in dark brown. This, in my opinion, is the best one at the drugstore and rivals some pretty expensive liners as well. So I'm just going to keep this to the outer edge. And then I'm going to take a liner brush like this one. This is from Sedona Lace EV23. And I am just going to take a little bit of that on the edge of the brush and just sweep it out. I haven't decided if I want to use liquid liner today or not. So okay, and then I'm going to go in with this pencil brush from Sedona Lee's. This is the 904, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of the dark brown and maybe a touch of the black. I'll start with the dark brown. Go right over the edge because I just want this nice and soft. And don't worry, we're going to clean up the edge in a moment. But kind of want to just play around with this. Make it look a little softer. And then right along the lash line, I'm going to take just a little bit of that black. I like to test out. Black is a hard color for the drugstore to attain good pigmentation. And this is pretty good. So I just deepened it up just a little bit. And then I'm going to go right in the lashes. And I'm going to go over the edge with my Morphe 433 and just really make sure that's soft. Kind of want this wing to just kind of fade into nothing out here. And then I'll go back with a little bit of my crease color. We're going to go in with that orange and just, or not orange, but you know what I mean, this middle color here. Just warm up the edge there a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to stop for the moment with the eyeshadow. We'll do the inner corner in a moment. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I think I'm going to go back in with that brown pencil. Just a little bit smudged into the lash line. Again, I don't want this to get too dark and dramatic. Then I'm going to take my Precision flat liner brush, a little bit of just the dark brown, the matte dark brown. Tap that on. So I just want it to meet up right where we did that little line, that winged liner there. Same on this side. Then I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Pencil brush, and I'm going to do a little bit of this and then this along the lower lash line, just for a little bit of a shadow. Now it's time to clean up under the eyes. As always, I'm using my almond oil and Q-tip. And this always, if you've never tried this trick and you have mature skin, try this. Gives your under eye area just a little extra moisture before you apply your concealer. Okay, so for concealer, I really don't have a drugstore color corrector on hand. So I'm going to use my Tarte CC just to put in a little color correcting. And then I'm going to go over the top of that with a new combination that I've been liking. I've had this Maybelline Age Rewind one forever. I've used this off and on throughout the years. This is in the color Light, and I've been mixing it with the new L'Oreal Pro Glow Concealer. So this is the Pro Glow, and I have it in the color 2, which is Creamy Natural. So a little more my summer shade. And I don't know, I just like the combination of the two together. The Pro Glow Concealer is definitely a little more moisturizing. So if you have dry under eyes, it's a good one. It's about a medium coverage. It's not full coverage. That's why I like to add in a little of that Maybelline Age Rewind with it. And I find it does a great job of covering. And as long as I set it with my e.l.f. powder, it stays really well throughout the day. Okay, so before I set my under eye, I want to go in with my first cream product on my face, which is the NYX Bright Idea Illuminating Stick. I've had this for a while and I just forget about it. This is in the color Chardonnay Shimmer. This is beautiful. I'm just going to apply a little bit with my finger, and it's not glittery. It's, I mean, perfect if you've got texture on your skin like I do. I don't feel like it really overemphasizes that. It just gives your face a nice glow. If you have dry skin, this is also a good one. Just looks really pretty. So I'm going to use this as a little bit of a base today. And then now I'm going to powder under my eye before everything creases. So taking my e.l.f. High Definition powder in the translucent shade and my dry Real Techniques little sponge. Now for contouring. It's been a while since I've used this, but this is the only drugstore contouring product I have. So this is the Wet n Wild Cushion Contour, and it has this little part that you take out, and it's pretty liquidy, but it is actually a really nice product. So I'm just going to take this, oh, no, not that one. I'm just going to take this Morphe E45, tiny little brush, and as I recall, you don't need a whole lot of product. It's a little on the warm side, but I think it looks really nice and natural. It's not too warm. Sometimes, you know, with the cooler tone ones, the grayer ones, you have to really be careful that you don't start looking dead. So this one, you don't have to worry about that. And this is a really nice product. It's pretty inexpensive. You don't get a ton of product in these cushion type products, but hasn't dried out or anything, so that's good. And then along the hairline, I'm going to switch out to a little bigger brush. This is the Real Techniques, what is this one called? Sculpting brush. And again, just lightly tap in there. Okay, so now I think that's all of my cream products I'm going to use. So I'm going to go back to this Milani powder. Now, one powder I know I love with the Wet n Wild foundation is the Coty Airspun powder. This stuff. But want to give this a good try. So we're going to go over lightly with that powder and see what it does. So it's giving the face a nice kind of little bit of a glow without being shimmery. I am not a dry skin girl, but as I've aged a little bit, I tend to want my face to look a little more dewy and youthful. So we're going to hope that this powder helps with that. Okay, so now we're going to go in, of course, with my favorite drugstore bronzer. You know it was coming. The Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And we're going to warm up the cheeks. I'm going to use my favorite brush also, Sidonelli 919. And can't use this without taking a wonderful whiff of coconut. So, bronze with this. And just kind of blend out that contour a little bit down into the neck. As I said, I have fake tan on today, so my neck's gonna be getting darker and darker throughout the day. All right, so now that our face looks bronzed and ready to go, we're gonna go in for some blush. Now, I wasn't sure. I have two drugstore blushes that I like. This is the Maybelline Master Blush kit, and I'm not sure if this one has a name. This was the only one that they had, and it does not have a name or a number, but this is the one obviously with pinks and peaches. And then I also have this duo from e.l.f., and I love this one as well. And this one is a rosy flush. So I think I want a rosy flush today. So we're gonna go with this. And I just kind of like to actually mix the two of these so I don't get too out of control. Pretty. I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow. Remember these? This is an oldie but a goodie. And this is in Iced Latte. These are beautiful, and it only takes a very light hand with this because this is so shimmery. So you can use eyeshadow for highlighter. If you don't have one, don't want to buy a separate one, eyeshadows work well as also. Okay, so I could use this in my inner corner highlight, but we have new shadows, so let's put them to the test, shall we? We're gonna go back to this palette, and we're gonna go in here with this lighter shade and see what it does on the inner corner. So this one doesn't have as much shimmer, definitely more on the pearl side. But it's beautiful and it blends really well. Okay, now it's time for lashes, and after we curl our lashes, I'm going to apply my new drugstore favorite combination, and it is the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer with, yes, the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I'm sure you've heard all about this mascara. It's really good, but for me, it works best with the primer. I didn't love it on its own. The primer not only adds just that little extra bit of volume that I think it needs help with, but also it helps it not smudge so much. So you know me, everything smudges. You really want to make sure you get that primer all the way to the ends, the tips of your lower lashes there. And now go on with the mascara. And of course, I always have to go back with a second coat. If you're someone who normally just does one coat of mascara, you might be surprised how much volume a second coat can add to your lashes. And it doesn't mean they have to get clumpy, because I don't like clumpy lashes or really spidery lashes. But with this mascara, I think you can see a pretty dramatic difference between 1 and 2 coats. Or I should say between 1 and 2 coats. All right, so let's get some lips on here. Take off my gloss that's been plumping my lips. And I think I'm gonna go in, I might go in with an oldie, but a goodie also. This is the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in Spice, 09 Spice. This one was kind of hard to track down. I think I finally found it at Walmart. So I filled in my lips with the lip liner, and now I'm going to go back over part of it with the e.l.f. Matte Lip Crayon in Praline and just tone down the redness of that lip liner a little bit. All right, guys, so here's the finished look. And this is one of those looks that I do love kind of at this time of the year going into the fall, with kind of more of that bronzy gold on the lid. And overall, I think all these new products performed very well. I'm very impressed with these eyeshadows and the powder. As you can see, my skin looks like really glowy, but not too glowy. We'll see how it wears. That's kind of the test for me, to see how it wears throughout the day. If my face gets oily later on in the afternoon, we'll have to see. So I will keep you posted. I'll try this again and just kind of keep testing it out. But overall, I really enjoy, I think, all of the new products, and hopefully you enjoyed this video as well, and it gave you some tips about some new products and maybe some old ones that you've maybe overlooked at the drugstore. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!